Vincent Price, with his distinctive voice and cultivated presence, stands as one of the most iconic figures in the history of horror cinema. He was not merely an actor who played chilling roles. He was a complex, multifaceted man whose true persona expanded well beyond the shadowy realms he often inhabited on screen. Let us delve deeper into the life and legacy of this unparalleled performer, understanding the man behind the terror and appreciating the broad spectrum of his talents. Born in 1911 in St. Louis, Missouri, Vincent Leonard Price, Jr. was not predestined for a career in the gruesome. Rather, he was born into affluence, with his father as the president of a candy company and his mother a devotee to the arts. This cultivated background would endow Price with a lifelong appreciation for art, culture, and fine living. His early career saw him studying art history and fine arts in London, laying the groundwork for a lifelong passion. Yet, it was during this period that he discovered another love, the theater. By the late 1930s, Price's commanding presence and sonorous voice landed him roles in Hollywood. His earliest roles varied from romance to film noir, and it wasn't until the 1950s that Price's association with horror became truly cemented. With classics like House of Wax, 1953, one of the first 3D films produced by a major studio, House of Wax sees Price as Professor Henry Jared, a brilliant but troubled wax sculptor. After being betrayed by his business partner and left for dead, Jared embarks on a dark quest for revenge, using his skills in terrifying ways. This role marked a major turning point for Price, firmly establishing him as a master of horror. His portrayal of Jared, a character torn between his passion for art and descent into madness, remains one of his most memorable performances. The Fly, 1958. Price plays François Delambre, the brother of a scientist who accidentally merges with a housefly during a teleportation experiment. Though not the main character, Price's role as the skeptical, then horrified sibling adds gravitas to this tale of scientific hubris. His reactions mirror the audience's, grounding the film's more outlandish moments. The Pit and the Pendulum, 1961. Based on Edgar Allan Poe's short story, this film sees Price as Nicholas Medina, a man haunted by the traumatic death of his wife and the dark legacy of his father's torture chambers. Working with director Roger Corman, Price's portrayal of a man teetering on the edge of sanity showcased his ability to evoke deep emotional resonance, elevating the film from mere horror to a psychological exploration of guilt and paranoia. The Mask of the Red Death, 1964. Another collaboration with Roger Corman based on Poe's work. Price stars as the hedonistic and cruel Prince Prospero, who taunts a plague-ridden village with his opulent parties, only to encounter the spectral Red Death. Price's Prince Prospero is a study in decadence and moral decay, highlighting the actor's capacity for portraying complex villains who are both charming and deeply sinister. The Abominable Dr. Phibes, 1971. Dr. Anton Phibes, believed to be dead, seeks vengeance on the medical team he blames for the death of his wife, using biblical plagues as his instruments of revenge. With a blend of horror, black comedy, and Art Deco aesthetics, this film allowed Price to tap into his theatrical roots, creating a villain who is as much about flair and presentation as he is about menace. Theater of Blood, 1973. Price plays Edward Lionheart, a disgraced Shakespearean actor who seeks vengeance on the critics who ruined his career, using Shakespeare's plays as inspiration for his murders. This film is particularly delightful for Price fans, as it combines his love for theater, his signature horror style, and dark comedy. His deep knowledge of Shakespeare is evident, and his joy in the role is palpable. These films only scratch the surface of Vincent Price's illustrious career, but they offer a glimpse into his range as an actor and his enduring influence on the horror genre. Whether embodying the tormented soul or the malevolent villain, Price's performances were always marked by depth, nuance, and an unmistakable presence. Yet, to define Price merely by his horror roles would be a grave injustice. His passion for art was unyielding. In the 1960s, he curated a collection for Sears, Roebuck and Company, introducing fine art to the broader American public. He championed art appreciation, ensuring that it wasn't confined to just the elite echelons of society. Moreover, his dedication led to the establishment of the Vincent Price Art Museum in East Los Angeles College, further cementing his legacy as an art aficionado. In addition to his contributions to cinema and art, Price had a vibrant personal life. He was an Epicurean, a gourmet chef who penned cookbooks, celebrated the joys of cooking, and hosted cooking shows. His love for food was yet another testament to his appreciation of the finer things in life. While modern audiences primarily recognize Vincent Price for his indelible mark on horror cinema, there's an audio dimension to his legacy that's equally captivating and occasionally overlooked: his work in old-time radio shows. Long before the age of television and streaming, radio was the primary source of entertainment for many households, and Price's mellifluous voice was a frequent and welcomed guest in living rooms across America. Vincent Price's foray into radio began in the 1940s. His voice, a perfect blend of charm, enigma, and hint of danger, made him an immediate fit for the medium. Whether he was playing the hero, the villain, or simply narrating, his voice had an innate ability to paint vivid pictures in the minds of listeners. One of the most notable radio shows he worked on was The Saint. The series was about Simon Templar, a modern-day Robin Hood figure who sought justice when the law failed. Price took over the role in 1947 and quickly made it his own. His portrayal was imbued with a blend of wit, charm, and a touch of mischief. Through his voice alone, Price managed to create a character that was as vivid and dynamic as any of his on-screen performances. But it wasn't just crime and adventure that drew Price's attention. He was versatile in the roles he chose, from suspense thrillers to comedy to drama. In the radio series Escape, where each episode promised high-adventure escapades, Price's performances ranged from treasure hunters to men facing their deepest fears. Similarly, his appearances on the horror anthology series Suspense showcased his ability to delve deep into the darker aspects of human nature. Vincent's voice was so enchanting that even when he wasn't playing a character, he was in high demand. Price was often tapped to narrate stories, introduce programs, or simply read poetry. His readings were so evocative that he could make even the most mundane text come alive, enveloping the listener in a world of his creation. Moreover, Price's radio career wasn't just limited to fictional narratives. He used this platform to share his love for art, history, and culture. The Price of Fear, a series he hosted, combined spooky narratives with his own personal experiences, providing insights into his life and perspectives. What's most striking about Vincent Price's radio career is how it mirrored his film roles in many ways. Just as he moved effortlessly from horror to comedy to drama on the silver screen, his radio roles were diverse and multifaceted. It's a testament to his versatility as an actor and his innate understanding of how to connect with an audience, whether they were seated in a cinema or huddled around a radio set. In retrospect, Vincent Price's work in old-time radio shows adds another layer to his illustrious career. It serves as a reminder that while visuals are powerful, there's an undeniable magic in audio storytelling. And with a voice like Vincent Price's, that magic was always guaranteed to be spellbinding. Vincent Price's presence was not confined solely to the silver screen or the airwaves of radio. The small screen too beckoned the actor, and he embraced television with the same panache and verve he brought to all his endeavors. With appearances ranging from variety shows to episodic tales of terror, Price added his distinctive touch to many a TV moment, let's explore some of his memorable appearances. The Muppet Show, 1976. Vincent Price guest starred in the first season of this iconic variety show, blending in effortlessly with the Muppet cast. This episode is remembered for its Halloween theme, with Price participating in a number of spooky sketches. Whether he was crafting a monster out of spare Muppet parts or dancing with a giant spider, Price's good-natured embrace of the show's zany humor made this episode a fan favorite. The Brady Bunch, 1972. In a three-part episode titled The Brady Bunch Goes to Hawaii, Price played a slightly mad archaeologist named Professor Hubert Whitehead. Adding his unique blend of humor and menace, Price's character believes the Brady family has come to steal his recently discovered ancient tiki idol. It was a fun departure from his usual horror roles, and Price's comedic timing was a perfect fit for the family sitcom. Thriller, 1961. Price lent his narration talents to this anthology series, introducing tales of mystery and horror. His eerie introductions set the tone for the suspenseful stories to come. With his deep voice and enigmatic presence, Price added an extra layer of anticipation and excitement for viewers. The Vincent Price Hollywood Christmas Special, 1972. A delightful Christmas special where Price showcased both his singing talents and his comedic chops. Surrounded by a cast of characters including Tiny Tim, the special was a blend of sketches, music, and classic Price humor. It's a testament to his versatility that he could transition from roles of menace to joyous holiday specials with such ease. Night Gallery, 1971. Created by Rod Serling, this anthology series often delved into the macabre. Price guest starred in an episode titled Class of '99. Price played a professor administering an exam to his students, but as the episode progresses, it becomes clear that there's something quite unusual about this class. It's a chilling episode that plays to Price's strengths as a master of horror. Mystery, 1981-1989. PBS's Mystery was an anthology series presenting British detective dramas to American audiences. Price served as the host from 1981 to 1989. With his atmospheric introductions, Price set the mood for the tales of suspense and detection that followed. His dramatic readings and insightful comments on the stories added depth and context for viewers. Vincent Price's foray into television showcased the breadth of his talent. From spine-chilling horror to light-hearted humor, he moved with an ease that endeared him to a wide range of audiences. Each appearance, no matter the genre, bore the unmistakable stamp of Vincent Price, a blend of elegance, wit, and an ever-present twinkle in his eye. In addition to his cinematic and artistic contributions, Price's personal life was a kaleidoscope of passions and interests. He was an Epicurean at heart, a gourmet chef who authored cookbooks, rejoiced in the art of cooking, and hosted cooking programs. His fervor for culinary arts was a clear indication of his penchant for life's finer pleasures. On the personal front, Price was a vocal supporter of civil rights, taking a firm stand against racial and religious discrimination. He used his influential position to challenge bigotry and give a voice to the marginalized. In wrapping up, while many recall Vincent Price primarily for his iconic horror roles, the depth of his legacy goes well beyond that. His life was a rich blend of diverse interests, from art to gastronomic adventures, from standing up for justice to imparting knowledge. As we reflect on his life and achievements, we recognize the vast potential within individuals to navigate various realms and passions, much like Vincent Price so gracefully exemplified.